Hi everyone and welcome to another video. This is a low-cost Intel NVIDIA PC build, and I've loaded up some of the most popular games at the moment like Fortnite and Pubg, and just to see what sort of performance we can get out of it. Now the basic spec is in the description, but it's got an i5 1150 socket CPU, an evga GTX 750 Ti superclock 2GB graphics card. It's got an SSD for Windows and a couple of games, and it's got a 500GB storage drive for the rest of the games. I run it in 1080p resolution. In some of the games I'll probably nudge that down a bit, and also the quality as well, but in fast-paced shooters the graphical quality doesn't matter too much. I've got 8GB of DDR3 RAM. Windows 10 64-bit is the operating system. Okay, so let's start up some games and just see what performance we can get. Now I'm recording this using Bandicam, as it's a very lightweight recorder, and all you'll see is the frames per second in the top left corner, which really is what we're all interested in. Right, so that's the introduction over. Let's get some games started. This is quite an old game called Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or CSGO, so this machine has no problems playing it. I've got it on high quality texture settings, but a few settings like anti-aliasing and motion blur, I've got those off because it's not really needed in a game like this. Now unfortunately it's one of the rare games I can't get Bandicam to show the frames per second counter in the top left, so you'll have to take my word for it that this is playing quite well, and shouldn't have too many difficulties. Okay, so that's CSGO. And this is a game called Destiny 2. Now I haven't got it on the lowest quality graphical settings, I've got it on medium, and in this outside area with not a lot going on, we're just nudging under 40 frames per second, which is not too bad. I'm not sure once things start happening that frame rate's going to go down a bit, so I'm going to try and instigate a firefight. Now I haven't got Bandicam's own frame counter. It's got the in-game one, which is in the top right at the moment, with a few more characters on screen. I'm getting 40 frames per second, which is fine. Probably get even more frames per second if I nudge that quality and a few other settings down a bit. But yeah, if you can get above 30 on a game like this, then that's fine. Okay, so that's Destiny 2. Now this is the most recent game in the Doom series. Now I've got this on the lowest graphical quality settings. I've adjusted the resolution scale to 70, and the resolution itself is quite has been reduced as well. So really it's just a matter of getting the right balance between quality and frames per second. So with not too many characters on the screen at the moment, we're getting 60 frames per second at outside level, but I'm sure once that character count goes up, the frame rate will go down slightly. And also don't forget Bandicam is running, which tends to reduce the frame rate somewhat. And also I've had to nudge the actual Bandicam video recording settings down as well, so you're not really getting the full graphical experience at the moment. But yeah, this is quite playable. So that's Doom Eternal. And this is a game which I'm sure everybody will be familiar with. It's Fortnite. Now there's a lot of graphical settings in this game, and what I've done is I've set this to the medium quality settings, but there's lots of other tweaks you can do to get the best performance and look of the game. When there's not a lot going on at the moment, we're getting a pretty stable 60 frames per second, and I think you probably get even more if you nudge this down to 30. But on a monitor like this, 60 frames per second is all you're going to get really. But if your monitor can do higher refresh rates, then maybe nudge the set quality setting down to low. But yeah, we're getting 60. Okay, so that's Fortnite. And this is PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, otherwise known as Pubg. I've got it on the medium preset. At the moment we're getting easily 60 frames per second, and to be honest, you're probably better off leaving it at the medium preset. I mean, the graphics look alright to me. And of course, when things start happening on screen, I'm sure those frame rates will dip slightly. But yeah, just keep Pubg on medium, and it'll be fine. Okay, so that's Pubg. And this is a game that was launched on the consoles first, called Red Redemption 2. Now it's on the PC. Now I've got all the settings where possible set to low, or the lowest values, and I've adjusted the resolution down slightly. But again, it's just a matter of trial and error, what you're most comfortable with. At the moment we're getting above 30 frames per second, but there's not a lot going on, to be honest. I mean, it's just the opening scene with some stormy weather. Now I ran the bench test, the in-game bench test, and it averaged around 35 frames per second. So on a game like this, it's quite recent, above 30 frames per second is fine. But I'm almost certain with when you get in the game with a lot going on, that rate's going to go down. Looking at the benchmark results as well, all the settings I've had, the VRAM is not exceeded. VRAM being the 2 gig on this graphics card. So I think things like grass quality and tree quality, you can get those down right down to the low. Okay, so that's Red Redemption 2. This is a Rocket League, not too taxing on systems, so I've got this on the highest quality settings. But if you do find the frame rates dipping, then just nudge those graphical settings down. At the moment, easy 60 frames per second. So yeah, if you want to play what is an excellent online multiplayer game, something different, try Rocket League.